fighting for a position in this world. We're not fighting for a plot of land in this world to where we can claim our stake, and have an inheritance with the rest of the world. No, when we get our inheritance, we're going to get everything. The book of Psalms, chapter 16 and verse 11. It says, God will show me the path of life. So we're on the path of life. The path of life leads to paradise. The path of life leads to glory, which the glory is the kingdom of heaven. And we're on that path of life. We're walking on the path of the tree of life to gain eternal life.
I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
That power is getting ready to be put back in us. For those who believe and have ears, that power that Yahushua had on the earth, we're going to get that and more. And we're going to get those heavenly bodies, man. See, Yahushua died on the cross and went through all that he went through so he can go back on the right-hand side and be glorified. We're fighting and making our bodies a living sacrifice so that we can eventually be back glorified with him as well as we were before the foundation of the earth.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. All right, and what I want to do, let me share. See if we back, we good. Let me see. Y'all just hang in there with me. We gonna get it right. We good. Let me know if y'all can hear me. And the video good. We're gonna go into it. Just let me know, cause it sound good. Okay, let's get it. All right. So, the big thing right now, I know you, you brothers and sisters heard the news about Russia invading Ukraine. So, we're gonna go into it. We're gonna explain, what's going on. We're gonna explain, pretty much what does this mean going forward, and just get balance, to the, to the topic, and at the end of the day, as we know, war is a major part of end time prophecy, but even within war, we have to understand that there's other things that have to happen. And that main thing is the MOTB, and we're going to watch, off grid farming. And he pretty much going to kind of, touch on how this all links together, because this war plays a part of the ushering in of the MOTB. Okay. This new system. Because when war happens, what happens, man? You have collapse, you have chaos, okay? You have mass death, okay? You have shortages, because you gotta remember World War II brought about the ushering in of the dollar as being the world reserve currency. Because before World War II, it was the British pound. The British pound was the world reserve currency before World War II. All right. But then after World War II, you had what you call the Bretton Woods Agreement, when they made the American dollar okay, the world reserve currency, okay, the FRN, Federal Reserve note. You see? So war brings about changes in currency, okay, changes in borders, okay. So war is the thing that's gonna forge major change in the earth. But see, they don't understand that, hey, we got a horse in this race. You know, you got that term in the world. You know, I ain't got no dog in their race, or I ain't got no horse in their race. You know, let's just say two teams playing an NFL game, and you don't like either team, so you will make the statement, well, I ain't got no horse in their race. You know, I don't care who win. Okay, but on this stage of world war, okay, this theater of war, we have a horse in this race, man, and that's Yahweh Shai. Okay, you know, as the hopeful elect, as the believers of this gospel, we have, you know, a champion, okay, within this tournament, because this is a Game of Thrones that we're witnessing, man, and it's playing out real time. You know, I don't know if you brothers and sisters, you know, how many of you seen Game of Thrones. You know, if you haven't seen it, you know, it's a good series, you know, to check out. If you brothers and sisters, if you seen that series Games of Thrones, you know, put a thumbs up, man. See how many GOT babies we got in here, man. You know, y'all can feel me. You know, but if you haven't, it's all good. But it's a pretty good series though. But so let's deal with this in Matthew 24:6. And it says, and you shall hear of rumors of wars, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Because a rumor is what? A circulating story. So we're constantly hearing, you know, these circulating stories about what? War. Okay? This nation is doing it. This nation just made this move. Iran just did this. Okay, Israel just did. Those Israelis just did that. India is buying this from Russia. Russia is supplying this nation with this and that. You know, all these different moves, you know, that we hear being made. We're going to constantly hear that, and it's going to echo louder and louder. And see, what we're seeing now is action. Okay? It said, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, which means there's other things that have to happen before it just break out into a full-scale war. Okay? But it's not going to take long for things to start moving quickly, man. Because everything is linked. Okay? Now, what did Yahweh Shai get there from? Which we went over this before, but hey, we're just going to hammer it home, man. Okay? That's how prophecy work, is redundant. Okay? Now, this is Jeremiah 51 and 46. And it says, and at least your heart faint, all right, which is your mind, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. Yeah, because when you don't understand the gospel, you don't want to hear about war. Okay? You go in the barbershop and start talking about, you know, Russia has missiles capable of hitting America. Don't nobody want to talk about that. Okay? That make their heart faint. That make their mind faint to hear those things, man. Russia and China got missiles that can make it here in 30 minutes, man. 20 minutes. Okay? Hypersonic. All right? They don't want to hear that. They make their heart faint, man. And it says, but see, for us, it's good news. But when all you know, okay, is America and this society going forward, then it's bad news, man. It's terrorizing news, man. Okay? And that's why the elect is of a different breed. We're being bred different. See, this word is breeding us into something else, man. Well, we're not of this world anymore. Okay? It said, at least your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that, in another year, shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. So now, all these rumors are turning violent. Okay? This is what we're seeing. These rumors are now turning violence. Okay? Missiles going off, man. Okay? So we're going to go into this video. But like I say, there's still things that happen. This is exciting. These are exciting times. Okay? But we still have to remember patience, man. You know, still a thing of patience. Now, let me see how many. Let me see. But Young, you say I gotta get help. You ain't seen. But Young, you ain't seen the Game of Thrones, brother. Oh man, I gotta cut you off for being moderator, brother, till you finish the series up. I'm just talking. You know, one sister seen it. Man, y'all ain't seen Game of Thrones, man. God damn. But let's get to the video though. Dealing with Off Grid, and he's pretty much gonna kind of sum up things. You know, I just do a little commentary, try to, you know, simplify best as I can, dealing with what, you know, what's happening over here. Cause the news gonna have this story on repeat. You know, so I'm just gonna touch on it, kind of expound on it, and simplify it in the spirit. You know, and you know, Lord willing, you know, you understand. You know, we understand. You know. Hold on. Let's get it.
Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. This is February the 23rd, 2022, and this day will go down in history as one of the days that you will be reading about, or your grandchildren will be reading about for a lot of years, folks. This is just like a day that has happened in December 7th, 1941. We're witnessing history unfold right before our very eyes. A lot of crazy stuff has gone on. So we just came back on the air. We'd been off a couple days due to some massive headaches, but we did a video about a couple hours ago, and just after we did that video, our update, all hell has broken loose in Ukraine. We're going to go to, there's all kind of videos now covering the story. There's live video cams, but Russia is invading Ukraine. The war is on. Russia is mounting their invasion that Joe Biden has said is going to happen the last couple of weeks. United States intelligence agencies have predicted the invasion. They were wrong. They said it was going to happen last Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the morning. It did not happen, but finally, 3 days after the Chinese Olympics are over, Russia is now launching their full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So I want to clarify some issues that has been going on a few other channels. Russia is not targeting civilians, folks. This is not a war against the Ukrainian citizens. Russia has no beef against Ukraine citizens.
Now, he said 3 days after, you know, when the Olympics in China was over, you know, Russia pretty much went with their move. Okay, and that lets you know what China and Russia were discussing, you know, during those games, man. Where you had Putin and Xi Jinping, all right, the Chinese president, you know, have meetings and discussions, man. Okay, and you can best believe that they was discussing, okay, war affairs of war, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that real quick, cause they already got it planned out. When NATO and America get cute, China already know what they got to do, man. You see, these are the powerhouses. These are the top 3 military powers in the earth. All right, that's gonna lock up, man, soon. Okay, like I say, it's still a thing of patience. Where, you know, like I said before, you know, Ukraine invaded, and Russia invaded Ukraine, and you see America didn't take no immediate military action, you know, and I figured that was going to happen, that Russia was going to invade Ukraine, okay, and America wasn't going to do nothing, man, okay, and we're going to talk about what America talking about doing. We're going to, you know, go to Biden in a minute, but then, you know, you can also, we might see China invade Taiwan. You see. But let's get this in Habakkuk real quick, and we're going to go to the rest of it. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? And then him, okay, is mainly speaking of America, man. All right, the chief Edomite nation in the earth, man. It says, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long, all right, and to him which laden himself with thick clay. So what's happening is these nations are having discussions, all right, they have had discussions, and they got military strategies against the horde, man. Okay? They got this thing strategized out, man. You know, America get crazy, NATO get crazy, China on deck. Okay, 3 days after the Olympics, when Putin and Xi Jinping was having these extensive talks, man, best believe military strategy was at the forefront. Okay, not no goddamn ice skating. Okay, skiing. All right. So let's go back to it.
And the people that live there. This operation that Russia is doing now, under President Putin's decree, is to take out the Ukrainian military, and only the Ukrainian military, and those of the neo-Nazi organization that overthrew the legitimate government of Ukraine in 2014. This is not a war against the Ukrainian people. This is a war to take out Ukraine's military, NATO infrastructure, and I'm going to read you these latest articles. So I wanted to clarify that. A lot of people are saying that Russia is just indiscriminately bombing cities. They are not, folks. This is live breaking news just coming in. The Russian Defense Ministry has issued a statement. So let me go to that article and we'll get you up on this one. This is coming in from RT Television. Now, RT Television, folks, is owned by Russia. This is Russian television, and they have just updated their website. Russia reveals strike targets in Ukraine. Ukrainian military facilities are being hit by Russian precision weapons, the Defense Ministry said. The Russian Defense Ministry stated that the Russian military is attacking Ukrainian military facilities as part of an ongoing operation in Ukraine. Precision weapons are being used against military infrastructure, air defense sites, military airfields, and aircraft, a statement cited by RIA Novista.
So what's happening is Russia is targeting any military, okay, any military base, anything that Russia deems a threat to its national security, because Ukraine is on the border of Russia. So what Russia is doing, anything they think, okay, could be a threat to their national security, they're attacking it, all right, with precision missiles, okay, any air defense systems, okay, because at the end of the day, Ukraine is being used by NATO, okay, to pretty much be a shield, all right, from Russia. That's why they're trying to set up all these missile defense systems in Ukraine to try to block, okay, a missile. See. It should be good. We good. I say knock me off again. Yeah, we should be good. But going back into it, okay, what Russia is doing, they're pretty much attacking anything, that they would deem a threat, to Russian national security. And what America has been doing is stockpiling, okay, weaponry, within Ukraine, American NATO, okay, to use Ukraine as a shield, okay, because they know if it's an all-out war with Russia and the EU, that Russia, has superior missile technology than these EU nations, and they trying to set up Ukraine as like a buffer, okay? So what Russia is doing is breaking down that buffer, what they call the steel curtain, where Russia is breaking down that steel curtain, okay, in Ukraine, all right, And that's going to open the door for further invasion. Like Apostle Bar made the point, hey, Russia is looking west now. Okay, they done start moving forward. Because one thing about it, they might just have the mindset to what? Take down Ukraine. But guess what? The Most High gonna put a thought in their head. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. When you go to Ezekiel 38. Okay. Ezekiel 38 and 10, it says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall they," and this is talking about Russia, it said, "shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go up to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates." So what we're seeing is the beginning phase, all right, as Russia go into Ukraine. Eventually, they're going to make their way to America, man. They're going to go through these EU nations. They're going to go through the Middle East. And eventually, hey, they're going to make their way here, man. Okay, via missiles, man. Okay, so I'm going to let this play.
And that is another Russian news agency. The military said that the Russia was not attacking Ukrainian cities, contrary to claims of that otherwise. Ukrainian civilians are not under threat. The statement said Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky confirmed that Ukrainian military sites were under attack, speaking in a video address on his local social media. So the Russian military wanted to make sure everybody in the world knew that they're not attacking the Ukrainian citizens. They are not attacking civilians. They're not bombing nursing homes and kindergartens. These are targeted strikes with precision weapons on military airfields, tanks, military airplanes, military infrastructure, folks. Vladimir Putin said he wanted to disarm or demilitarize Ukraine, and that's what this operation is. This is not an attack against Ukrainian civilians. So this is basically a military-to-military attack to clear out the neo-Nazis that is in the Azov Brigade in Mariupol. Also, the perpetrators who overthrew the illegitimate government in Ukraine. So, folks, war is terrible. I don't want to see this war. I didn't want to see this war happen, but we are witnessing it anyway. I mean, I don't have anything to do with people going to war. I just report the news. And although a lot of people disagree with me, folks, this is the day that we're living in. And
this is the benefits of understanding prophecy, man. This got to happen. Yahweh Shai say these things must come to pass. Okay? You see how in tune, the true gospel has us, all right, in tune with Yahweh Bashem Al Shai and his mindset on what he intends for the earth. Okay? Well, you go real quick. Let's get Isaiah. You see? He didn't want it to happen. We do. Because this doctrine, okay, the spirit of Yahweh Shai has us in tune with the will of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And it says, this is Isaiah 46:9, said, "Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, all right, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." So we understand this is the pleasure of the Lord is happening, man, because it's going to bring about, okay, the destruction of this wicked empire and the ushering in of a righteous one, man.
Like I said, write this date down, February the 23rd, 2022, a day that you're going to remember for a long time, because the world has changed today, folks. Tomorrow, when we wake up, it's going to be a whole nother world, because I do believe this is the start of the Great Reset that Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum was talking about. He talked about a Great Reset where they're going to reset the world. They're going to collapse the world's financial system, institute a one-world government, a one-world religion, and a one-world financial system with the Antichrist as the ruler of the world. So I think this war is setting this up. And unfortunately, I do think that NATO is going to get involved. There has been early reports.
So he's telling you the war is setting up a great collapse, which the elites plan on doing a great reset, man. So this thing is all prophecy is linked together, man. So what we're seeing with this move, this is a step closer to the MOTB, because that's going to be the device that he's going to present as the savior, from this great collapse, man. It all ties in together, man.
Reports that Washington, D.C. is evacuating the President of the United States, the Vice President. Military leaders are all being funneled out of Washington into their bunkers. There has been several reports on Twitter and other flight tracking radar that planes are flying out of Washington, relocating the Joe Biden, the Vice President, members of Congress, members of the military. They're going and heading to different bunker sites. That is being reported on several other websites. So this is happening, folks, and all you people that called me fear-mongering over the last year when we told you this was going to happen, well, we were right, and I'm not gloating, but we have been covering this situation for a long time. And, folks, this is part of the New World Order. This really has nothing to do with Ukraine, folks. This is taking basically NATO infrastructure out of Ukraine. And I know a lot of people want to disagree with me about that, but Russia was concerned about their national security, and they do feel threatened. And I do believe that Russia did everything diplomatically that they could to try to work out a deal with NATO the last couple months, and NATO completely refused to sit down and negotiate a treaty or a peace treaty that would have brought peace to Ukraine. Ukraine could have just declared itself a neutral country and avoided all this, but they didn't do it. So anyway, we're not going to rehash that. I just want to report the news. Let's go to one more article. We only got like 2 articles here. Explosions reported across Ukraine as Russia orders special operation. Blasts have been reported in several Ukrainian cities as Moscow launched a special operation in Donbass. A series of explosions have been reported across Ukraine, with eyewitnesses saying that blasts have occurred near a number of major cities as Russian President Vladimir Putin signed an order authorizing a special military operation in the Donbass region. Speaking from a rooftop in central Kiev on Thursday morning, CNN reporter Matthew Chance said he heard 4 or 5 explosions. So, like I said, there's been multiple explosions all over Ukraine. We're going to go to Twitter now. Marco Rubio has been reporting almost constantly tonight. Marco Rubio is one of United States senator from Miami, Florida. He has been keeping the world up to date. His latest tweet was, Russia isn't just focused on seizing eastern Ukraine. Russian military forces are working toward isolating Kiev. So Kiev, now the city of Kiev is under attack with missiles and bombs. Let's go down to one of his other tweets here. To clarify, what is underway is a full-scale and comprehensive military assault throughout Ukraine. Airborne and amphibious landing missile strikes from air, ground, and naval forces, electronic and cyber attacks, and large ground forces to occupy a large swath of the country. 1 hour ago, he tweeted, long-range missile launches from Russia are now underway. They're headed toward various pre-selected military sites throughout Ukraine. So Marco Rubio is reporting on this. We also have a statement. Let me see if I can find it.
So pretty much, just to catch everyone up, all right, Russia is disarming Ukraine, okay? They're pretty much just wreaking havoc on Ukraine's military, and Ukraine military, all right, don't stand a chance. Now, here it is. America got you into all this shit. The reason why Ukraine, all right, military infrastructure is getting hit with missiles is because of America and NATO, all right? And America and NATO don't have no troops in there, okay? America and NATO hasn't shot one missile back. You see? So let's go to what, all right, y'all fearless president. All right. Yeah, we should be back. We good. Yeah, man. Okay. Well, America started all this shit, and now it's going down. Okay. You had all them American politicians and governors, you know, talk about, yeah, Biden should hit Russia in the mouth and all this old shit. Okay. And what the hell is going on in America? You niggas talking about Kodak Black getting shot at a Super Bowl party, man. Okay? And these nations gonna realize, man, that, man, this bitch, you know, like when you been set up by a woman, okay, you played by a woman, this whore is playing these nations, man. Okay? Well, let's go into y'all fearless leader, all right, Joe Beasy, man.
Don't skip yet. This app is something you won't want to miss.
Let's start with you. Walk us
This is your wartime president, man. Let's see what he gonna do.
through what happened in the courtroom today and what this verdict means for each of.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good day from New York. We're coming on the air because President Biden is about to deliver an update on the rapidly escalating crisis in Ukraine. It comes after President Vladimir Putin of Russia ordered troops into separatist-held regions of Ukraine. The White House is now calling that plan an invasion. There are the two regions.
So what you have in this region right here on Ukraine border, on Russia border with Ukraine, Russia pretty much done took some. All right, these regions right here are going to be occupied by Russian military. Okay, so pretty much Russia just done took some, man. Going back into them hooks being put in their jaws, man. All right, and they ready for whatever, however it turned out. Like Jake got this saying in the streets, Fido, fuck how it turned out. That's how Russia moving. All right, they done took, this is Ukraine territory, but Russia took that yesterday. It's Russian territory now. All right.
Where Putin says he will send so-called peacekeeping forces. They are Russian-speaking areas which have been ruled by pro-Russian forces for years. The administration has long made clear there will be severe consequences, mainly economic sanctions on Russia if it invades, and the White House this morning stated that any movement into this region would constitute an invasion and trigger an American response. We want to go to NBC News Chief White House Correspondent Kristen Welker. Kristen, do we know what the president will talk about in this briefing?
Well, Lester, we are expecting President Biden to announce new sanctions, and I'm told these sanctions will be targeted toward Russia, and they've been coordinated with allies and partners. Now, on Monday, you may remember that President Biden imposed limited sanctions. Democrats and Republicans have urged him to go even further in the wake of those sanctions. The White House pushing back, though, saying that essentially they are holding the toughest sanctions to try to pressure Putin not to invade even further. So that is why they're not going full bore with these sanctions. Now, as you mentioned today, the administration is using the term invasion. That is a shift in its rhetoric. It is using that strengthened term after Monday night, administration officials stopped short of saying it was an invasion. So, Lester, what changed? Well, effectively, according to two top officials here with whom I spoke, they determined the word invasion was appropriate after assessing Russia's actions on the ground and, of course, those peacekeeping missions that are moving in. And, Lester, here's the president.
All right, Kristen, thank you.
Trying to make up your mind, huh? Well, good afternoon. Yesterday, Vladimir Putin recognized two regions of Ukraine as independent states. And he bizarrely asserted that these regions are no longer part of Ukraine and their sovereign territory.
He took some, nigga. All right. All that fancy talking, big word. Putin took some. All right. And told you niggas shake some if you want to. Okay.
To put it simply, Russia just announced that it is carving out a big chunk of Ukraine. Last night, Putin authorized Russian forces to deploy into these regions. Today, he asserted that these regions are actually extend deeper than the areas he recognized, claiming large areas currently under the jurisdiction of the Ukraine government. He's setting up a rationale to take more territory by force, in my view. And if we listened to his speech last night, and many of you did, I know, he's setting up a rationale to go much further. This is the beginning of a Russian invasion of Ukraine, as he indicated and asked permission to be able to do from his Duma. So let's begin to, I'm going to begin to impose sanctions in response far beyond the steps we and our allies and partners implemented in 2014. And if Russia goes further with this invasion, we stand prepared to go further as with sanctions. Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors?
Nigga, who the hell America think they are? Nigga, you know, this is the hypocrisy of America. You say, who in the good Lord does Putin think he is? Well, who the hell was America? Okay? Look how much you done took and claimed to be your own. Nigga, is you serious? America controls 80% of Syria's oil reserves right now. American military is guarding Syrian oil fields right now. Okay? Which the president of Syria, Assad, all right, told America he didn't want them in there, man. He invited Russia and Iran. You nigga just showed up. And it's plenty more, all right, just nigga moments that America has in the earth, man, with these other countries, man. Okay? So now, Putin like, well, shit, we gonna move like y'all move. You know? Y'all don't ask nobody. Y'all just show up. So we just gonna pull up. You know? And they gonna keep going. You know? The Most High mustered the host of the battle, man. The Most High is putting the energy of war in the earth, man. Okay? Ain't nobody bagging down. Okay? Nobody, that America, boogeyman's over with. Alright? They're gonna have to show something. All this talking, and then here it is. He got Ukraine military getting their ass tore out the frame, and this nigga talking about some sanctions, man. If they keep invading, you gonna keep putting on sanctions, man. That shit ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, they already prepared for that. That's why they got ties with China, so they can keep getting resources, man. And guess what? The more you sanction Russia, the more you're gonna hurt the European, all right, economy. Why? Because they depend on Russia for their gas, man. Okay? It's finna get very bad for America, man. This is why all these nations gonna hate America, man. Okay? Now it's starting to make more and more sense, man. You see? If they invade some more, we're gonna put some more sanctions. Here it is. Ukraine military getting the brakes beat off of them over there. Okay? And this nigga talking about some sanctions, man. Alright, but that's your American ally.
This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community. Over the last few months, we've coordinated closely with our NATO allies and partners in Europe and around the world to prepare that response. We've said all along, and I've told Putin to his face more than a month ago, that we would act together. And the moment Russia moved against Ukraine, Russia is now undeniably...
Well, go tell them now, all right? Fly your ass over there now, you know, and say what you said.
moved against Ukraine by declaring these independent states. So today, I'm announcing the first tranche of sanctions to impose costs on Russia in response to their actions yesterday. These have been closely coordinated with our allies and partners, and will continue to escalate sanctions if Russia escalates. We're implementing full blocking sanctions on two large Russian financial institutions, VEB and their military bank. We're implementing comprehensive sanctions on Russian sovereign debt. That means we've cut off Russia's government from Western financing. It can no longer raise money from the West and cannot trade in its new debt on our markets or European markets either. Starting tomorrow and continuing in the days ahead, we'll also impose sanctions on Russia's elites and their family members. They share in the corrupt gains of the Kremlin policies and should share in the pain as well. Because of Russia's actions, we've worked with Germany to ensure Nord Stream 2 will not, as I promised, will not move forward. As Russia contemplates its next move, we have our next move prepared as well. Russia will pay an even steeper price if it continues its aggression, including additional sanctions. The United States will continue to provide defensive assistance to Ukraine in the meantime, and will continue to reinforce and reassure our NATO allies. Today, in response to Russia's admission that it will not withdraw its forces from Belarus, I have authorized additional movements of U.S. forces and equipment already stationed in Europe to strengthen our Baltic allies, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Let me be clear, these are totally defensive moves on our part. We have no intention of fighting Russia. We want to send an unmistakable message, though, that the United States, together with our allies, will defend every inch of NATO territory and abide by the commitments we made into NATO. We still believe that Russia is poised to go much further in launching a massive military attack against Ukraine. Hope I'm wrong about that. Hope we're wrong about that. But Russia has only escalated its threat against the rest of Ukrainian territory, including major cities and including the capital city of Kyiv. There are still well over 150,000 Russian troops surrounding Ukraine. And as I said, Russian forces remain positioned in Belarus to attack Ukraine from the north, including warplanes and offensive missile systems. Russia's moved troops closer to Ukraine's border with Russia. Russia's naval vessels are maneuvering in the Black Sea to Ukraine's south, including amphibious assault ships, missile cruisers, and submarines. Russia's moved supplies of blood and medical equipment into position on their border. You don't need blood unless you plan on starting a war. Over the last few days, we've seen much of the playbook that Secretary Blinken laid out last week in the United Nations Security Council come to pass. A major increase in military provocations and false flag events along the line of contact to the Donbass. Dramatically staged, conveniently on-camera meeting of Putin's Security Council to grandstand before the Russian public. And now, political provocation of recognizing sovereign Ukrainian territory as so-called independent republics in clear violation, again, of international law. President Putin has sought authorization from the Russian parliament to use military force outside of Russian territory. And this set the stage for further pretexts of further provocations by Russia to try to justify further military action. None of us should be fooled. None of us will be fooled. There is no justification. Further Russian assault in Ukraine remains a severe threat in the days ahead. And if Russia proceeds, it is Russia and Russia alone that bears the responsibility. As we respond, my administration is using every tool at our disposal to protect American businesses and consumers from rising prices at the pump. As I said last week, defending freedom will have cost for us as well and here at home. We need to be honest about that. But as we do this, I'm going to take robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy, not ours. We're closely monitoring energy supplies for any disruption. We're executing a plan in coordination with major oil-producing consumers and producers toward a collective investment to secure stability in global energy supplies. This will blunt gas prices. I want to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. This is critical to me. In the last few days, I've been in constant contact with European leaders, including with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Vice President Harris met in person with the leaders in Germany over the weekend. At the Munich conference.
Did he say Harris met with somebody? Oh my goodness. Oh my good goddamn. Harris met with somebody? Oh boy. Yeah, it's over, man. It is over, man. And then you see he hinting at, he's throwing hints that, America economy gonna be affected, man. You goddamn right. So expect more inflation, okay? and expect, gas prices to get crazy, man. Okay? So this where we at, man. And I'm gonna get they some drunk ass Kamala Harris, alright? And she probably drunk all the goddamn vodka at the meeting, America goddamn joke, man. But let's get this, man, and we'll close it out. We'll close it out here, man. They got they son Harris, man. Shit. You better off sending Shaq, the goddamn Dennis Rodman, some goddamn body, man. It's this is Isaiah 13. Alright. And 17. And it's the whole point of the lesson. It said, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Yo, they stirred up. Russia stirred up, man. This is the Most High possessing them to do his will. Okay? Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And what is silver and gold? That's your economy. Okay? That's your economy. So these sanctions affect Russia's economy. Russia don't give a damn. All Russia want is smoke. Okay? They tried to be diplomatic with you niggas, man. You ain't listen. Now they in that Tupac hit 'em up spirit, man. Okay? But that's it, man. A little break over with, man. I gotta get back in here. But just want to keep y'all up to date of what's going on, so we all be in the loop of what's currently going on, because you're gonna hear all these different stories and this and that, so just through the spirit, trying to simplify it, to the best of my ability. Lord will, it was edifying to you brothers and you sisters, man. Until next time, I say shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, Abba Wabal, DTA soon.